Hi, my name is Lauren Little, and I am the CEO and founder of LodgeIt. And I'm here to talk to you about the subject of vaginal health, a seemingly taboo subject that has been swept under the rug too long. Next slide, please. So, almost every human on this earth will deal with some type of pH imbalance at some point in their life. And not only will this lead to uncomfortable odor and itching and burning, but it will also lead to feelings of insecurity and embarrassment about themselves. This topic is currently very taboo and it leads to a stigma surrounding it, which leads to limited conversations and worsening of issues that could have easily been solved. The core of the problem is limited accessibility to educational resources that are easy to understand for the common human, per se. Next slide, please. So, the vision is to make holistic health accessible for those everywhere and giving them autonomy over their bodies once again, while doing this completely sustainably and making a contribution back to the earth. Next slide, please. So the solution begins with our online platform that gives customers a place to learn about their bodies, find resources about what's going on with them, as well as just learning fun facts and reading interesting stories along the way. This especially gives those with limited access to healthcare a place to find holistic solutions without having to visit an expensive doctor. We intend to use this platform to sell our initial product being, next slide, please, the Fix, a boric acid suppository that counteracts the variants that cause yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, and pH imbalance without disrupting the body's normal processes. There has been an exponential increase in antibiotic resistance built to common yeast infection medication. So there is going to be quite an increase in holistic supplements needed in the future. And as you can see on the right, our packaging is 100% recyclable and is aimed at creating a clean aesthetic to be displayed on customer shelves without shame. Next slide, please. So our market opportunity is large. Obviously, there are a lot of humans with a vagina on this planet. If we get into our TAM specifically, there are currently 46.9 million people in the United States who deal with reoccurring yeast infections, and that gives us a dollar market of 24 billion. Getting into our SAM, there are currently 17.6 million humans who deal with reoccurring infections that are in the emerging adult age group. And then our SOM is those who are sexually active in college and dealing with these infections. And then our beachhead is who we initially intend to target, which is sorority women. And that is about 1.9 who deal with these infections reoccurring during this age group. Next slide, please. So after doing some customer discovery, I've discovered that there are three main archetypes that this product will be really great for. Starting with our early adopter, she is Taylor. She is that sorority student, and she has just dealt with these issues for as long as she can remember, and she just needs a really fast solution. And on average, Gen Z will pay 10% more for sustainable products. So that is really amazing as well. And there's about 32,000 of that archetype. Moving into our Jennifers, our millennials, she really likes holistic health, doesn't want to mess with her gut microbiome, as well as really values transparency, and she really likes subscription models. There are about 442,000 Jennifers out there. And then our laggers are our Susans. She has never really dealt with this issue before, but unfortunately, as we go through different hormonal changes like menopause, she had one pop up that she never thought would happen. And she just needs something that's going to work fast and is not harsh on her body. And that is what led her to LodgeIt. Next slide, please. So LodgeIt's mission is really within sustainability and curating a safe space to discuss vaginal health needs. And the existing competition falls short in both of these areas. As you can see in the upper left-hand quadrant, there are some resources to access vaginal health research. However, they're a little bit hard to digest for those that don't understand STEM. And in the lower left-hand quadrant, there are some other boric acid suppositories on the market. However, they don't market towards a positive woman's body. I found in my experience, as you can see in The Killer, we're really working to rewrite that narrative, as well as they create a high density of waste. And that is not amazing. There are two sustainable options, one being a tea tree suppository. However, there are some adverse effects studied with this. And Seed has some probiotics and some vaginal supplements. However, They're incredibly expensive, and they also don't offer boric acid. Next slide, please. So the business model, the LodgeIt will initially be sold in glass bottles for a set price, and after purchasing, customers can pick differing refill amounts based on their body's needs to fill that initial glass bottle, greatly reducing our carbon footprint. So we initially intend to sell in in-person events in sororities, all women groups, non-binary groups for the first 4 months and get some feedback about what they would like to see about opening the conversation in vaginal health. And then around month 4, we plan to launch via e-commerce through our website that you saw a bit earlier. And that will just get people really excited on the website and start making sales online. And then a little bit down the line, when that is gaining traction, we intend to offer a variety of subscription models based on everyone's personal needs. Next slide, please. So our go-to-market strategy is broken down into 3 separate phases. Phase 1 being really building that traction, having those organic conversations on social media, and just seeing what people really want to talk about, as well as focusing on that branding and that education aspect. Phase 2 is getting that e-commerce launched on the website, as well as doing promotional deals and really just gaining some more traction, as well as paid acquisition, affiliate programs, and things of that nature would be really amazing. And I also intend to get a stamp of approval from doctors at this stage as well. And then in phase 3, really just expanding on that education aspect with podcasts and getting some celebrities to back us in our efforts, as well as starting to get into some retail stores such as supplement stores and health food stores that align with our sustainability mission. Next slide, please. So I intend to initially penetrate the market at $20 for the initial jar, and then $8 for 10 refills to incentivize customers to buy those refills, as it'll be a little bit lower cost. As you can see here, our COGS is about $9.80, that being the cost of materials, fulfillment, manufacturing, and all of those overhead costs that accumulate with this. And over on the right, you can see our 3-year forecast with our revenue, net income, and cash, and we really expect to see this take off. The assumption is if a customer returns one time, that they will continue to return for those refills. Next slide, please. So meet the team. I am myself. I currently have a really strong team of advisors that have been advising me through this process, but I feel strongly that I can take on this mission, as I have dealt with these problems for as long as I can remember and heard horrible, degrading language. And I'm just really excited to rewrite this narrative. Next slide, please. So if I were to be so honored to be granted this funding, I would use it largely in inventory to get that backing and get all of that inventory ready to be shipped, and with the fulfillment centers, as well as the first 4 months will be all in-house. So just those costs as well. The next cost, the $5,600, is that distribution cost and just making sure that our beautiful jars show up to our consumers' houses all beautiful as they should be. And then the $4,700 is that website development and making sure that there's a lot of different types of engagement opportunities on that website for different types of users. And then our legal costs are about $6,600, and that is for our trademarking and our liability insurance and all of the things that come along with supplemental world. And then lastly, the marketing and promotion costs are about $11,000, and that is for all of our online marketing, as well as our promotional events in person and our affiliate programs that we are looking to host. Next slide, please. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you will see how large of a problem this gap in education is, and I am now open to any questions.